Hey guys, how's it going? Today is going to be my book of the month review for the month of July. If you're new here or you don't already know, every month at the end of the month, I pick my favorite book that I read and I do a full-length review on it. I didn't do one for June because honestly I just wasn't really feeling it, but this is my favorite book I read in the month of July, and that is The Rithmatist by Brandon Sanderson. This is a young adult fantasy novel by Brandon Sanderson. It's about a teenage boy named Joel who lives in a world where the magic system is chalk-based. Yeah, like chalk-based. Basically, there are these monsters called chalklings that are literally like two-dimensional like chalk monsters that kill people. People use magic, they're called the Rithmatists, and basically they can kind of create their own chalklings, and they're essentially soldiers for the most part, whose entire purpose is to attack and defend against these chalklings. Joel is obsessed with the Rithmatists, but he is unable to become one. So in this world, not anybody can become one. Like, you're chosen at a young age and then you're able to get the skills, but if someone else drew something with chalk, it's not going to do anything magical. So it's an interesting magic system, and it's a really interesting main character. I love having kind of the outsider looking in kind of thing, and I love this main character. Basically though, the plot itself is that there's these sudden mysterious murders that seem to be from chalklings, and they don't know what's going on, and somehow Joel gets kind of wrapped into all these Rithmatist politics and tries to solve the mystery along with the Rithmatist professor and another friend. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I will admit the magic system is kind of confusing. I love Brandon Sanderson's magic systems. I think he's really good at creating something unique, and I love a good hard magic system, and I think Brandon Sanderson is kind of the king of that. But I did find this a little bit confusing. So at the starting of all the chapters, a couple different defenses basically against chalklings. So you kind of draw a circle and then there's different types of defenses, and it's hard to explain short in a video, but they talk about it a lot, and I did find it a little bit almost overwhelming at first because it kind of throws you straight into it, and it took me a little bit to realize okay, I don't really need to know all of this. I was trying to figure okay, well, what exactly are the rules and which one's the best defense against this, and kind of getting myself a little bit too involved. But honestly, just go with the flow a little bit. You don't need to know all of the specific details for the magic system to make complete sense. It's just, extra little things. So maybe if I were to reread this, then I'd kind of pay more attention to all the diagrams and everything. But for a normal read through, it's definitely fun to look it over, but you don't need to memorize the figures or anything. Maybe that's just my Ravenclaw talking. But aside from that, I loved the premise, I loved the idea of this magic system, and I thought the execution was pretty great. It was just, basically, don't stress yourself out about it. It's okay. The one thing I wasn't super fond of is there's a kind of romantic-ish subplot in this, and I just didn't find it necessary. I really liked those two characters as just good buddies. They just, I don't know, I thought they were really cute friends. I thought they were both super cute. It's not a very strong romantic subplot, so it's pretty easy to ignore. But I kind of would have preferred if it wasn't there and if they would have just stayed bestest buds. Speaking of the characters, I loved them. I thought they were so cute. So Joel, like I said, is obsessed with the Rithmatists and with the magic, and he just wants to learn everything he can about them, but he can't actually do the magic himself. So he wants to become a scholar and just study them and just I don't know, he's just so dedicated to his passions, and I just think that's super cute. He sneaks into the classes so he can learn the theory even though he's never going to be able to do the magic, and I just think that's adorable. The person that ends up becoming his friend throughout the novel, she's so adorably weird. I like her. I think she's fun. I would be her bestest bud. I would love to be friends with these characters. But yeah, basically I just think they're both super cute little weirdos, and I love them. The other characters I also really liked, the professor that ends up helping them out is just he's just the cute bumbly professor, and some of them were a little bit on the flat side, but not every character needs to be super developed, so I really didn't have a problem with it. One downside though I do think about this book is that there is quite a cliffhanger. So basically at the end there's a little bit of a game changer, but it's obviously something that's going to be expanded in the sequel. There isn't a sequel. So this was written in 2013, and then I think in 2015 Brandon Sanderson's publicist announced through Reddit that the sequel was probably not going to be out until 2017. It's 2019 now, and there hasn't been any update on it. I think he's just working on other projects and just hasn't really felt like getting back into this world yet. I did find, like, the story itself wraps up well enough. Like, it's still a cliffhanger, and it's, hey, comment, still, like, a little bit frustrating just in that aspect, but it's not, you know, the worst thing in the world. Like, it's no Strange the Dreamer. But if you're the kind of person that gets really bothered by cliffhangers and you want to, like, complete the story, maybe hold off on this one until he at least announces that he's working on the sequel again. But if that's not something that really bothers you, I definitely think that this book is an excellent read. Also, if you keep noticing my little tab here, so Brandon Sanderson, aside from having really great magic systems, is kind of known for, like, just messing with you as a reader. Like, I think he's very good at just, like, throwing in so many different curveballs and just being like, oh hey, like, you think you know what's going on? Surprise, it's this! Nope, surprise, it's this! Nope, surprise, it's this! And this book, I really thought I outsmarted him, and I didn't. So there's something that happens around this spot. It's something really subtle, like, this isn't in any way spoilery, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there's just this, like, one little line of dialogue that I picked up on. I'm like, aha, I've got you, Brandon Sanderson. I remember a clue that you gave us chapters and chapters and chapters ago, and I just realized there's a connection here. I know what the twist is. I figured it out. You can't outsmart me. No, I was wrong. I mean, I was right, but he played me. He played me good. So basically, there's a very subtle thing that I thought I was being so smart about, but apparently Brandon Sanderson already thought of it. And then, like, towards the end of the book, I realized that no, he got me again. So yeah, I remember I put this in when I was reading it, and I put a big question mark with, like, what I thought it was solving, and I was so excited because I'm like, when I get to my review, I'm going to tell them, like, look how smart I am. I predicted the ending all the way back here. Like, I'm super great at decoding Brandon Sanderson. Nope, I'm not. But honestly, I love that. I love how he can just mess with me and how much fun it is. Honestly, like, it's not, like, frustrating. Like, I've read some books that, like, they put too much effort into, like, their red herrings, or they, like, purposely mislead you in a way that it's almost, like, frustrating. But in this one, it's just fun. Like, it's a game of wits, and I always lose. But that's okay, because, like I said, I love it and it's a ton of fun. One other thing, though, that I wish would have been kind of more expanded, and this is weird because Brandon Sanderson is really good at world building, but I found the world building kind of lacking in this one. Like, it's like a steampunky kind of world, but they don't dwell on it very much. Like, there's, like, references throughout, but it's not as immersive as other Brandon Sanderson books. So in that respect, I think that if you're intimidated by Brandon Sanderson, this would be a great one to start with, because it does have the very classic, like, Brandon Sanderson magic system and writing style and twists and turns, but it's not as, like, heavy, if that makes sense. But yeah, I found this one was a little bit more lacking than his other books, but that might be a good thing for a lot of people. Overall, I did find this, like, cuter than a typical Brandon Sanderson, but still very Brandon Sanderson. Like, there's a specific scene at the end that, I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, but the, like, the tournament scene at the end, I loved it. I loved that scene. So well done. But yeah, I think that this book is a perfect mix of, like, Brandon Sanderson, but, like, toned down a little bit in certain ways. So I think that if you're already a Brandon Sanderson fan, this has all of the Brandon Sanderson elements that you would love. But if you haven't read Brandon Sanderson, I think this is a good, like, introduction or, like, a stepping stone into Brandon Sanderson's, like, adult fantasy. I think that it's enough of a taste of what he's really good at, but it's not as overwhelming. Like I said, at this point it's only one book, and I think it's about 380 pages. So it's a little bit on the smaller side for a Brandon Sanderson novel. Like I said, it's not a completed series, but this book on its own is well enough. I just would really like to continue the story. You do solve the mystery, so like, it's not one of those ones, because that's one thing I don't like, is when you don't solve the mystery in the first book. So you do solve the mystery, you just realize there are more mysteries that need to be solved in sequel books, but like I said, I would love if there was a sequel. I would love if there was a sequel like tomorrow, but I'm not gonna die, I guess. Overall, I highly recommend this, whether or not you're already a Brandon Sanderson fan. Basically, I recommend this book for everybody. If you like books, read this book. And obviously, as always, it was really well written. Like, the pacing was great, the language was great, like, the way the mystery was built was great, the way that he, like I said, messed with me was super great. So, highly recommend this book. Like I said, I gave it a 9 out of 10, and would love to reread it. That's the one thing I think that's kind of okay about the sequel not coming out probably anytime soon, is that when it finally does come out, I'll have to reread this book, and I'm excited to do that. Like, I'm already excited to reread this book, so that's how you know you get a good one. So yeah, that is all I have for today. Again, The Rithmatist by Brandon Sanderson. Highly recommend it. Check it out. If you've read this book, definitely comment down below or message me and let me know what you thought, because I love Brandon Sanderson books, and I love discussing Brandon Sanderson books, because, like, I don't know, I just think it's so much fun, and there's so much to, like, discuss and dissect in his books, and so amazing. And also, did you also get tricked by anything, like, midway through and think you outsmarted him and then were wrong? Or did you actually outsmart? No one outsmarts Brandon Sanderson. Anyways, that is all I have for today. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button to let me know, and don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, but it's probably going to be changing to Sunday. But reading and writing related videos. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter @Tabuggy. But I hope to see you guys next time, and until then, have a great day. Bye!